Welcome to a brand new episode of Enters the Lab podcast. Today, we recap the Hall of Fame game between the Texans and the Bears, our first look at the new kickoff for the NFL, and more updates from around our teams and around the league. So, buckle up. It's time to Enters the Lab.
My fault. What happened? I'm eating Popeye.
This man says eating some Popeyes. Commercial.
I'm ready for a break.
Save this clip!
Wipe your hands. Wipe your hands.
Commercial.
We over here about to die thirst over here.
Thing on the menu today, bro, and that's work. That's work for 60 minutes, bro. That's the only job we got to do today, bro. What you playing for? What you playing for? What you playing for? What y'all?
Get real lonely with the mic on, bro. Just want to talk to my friends.
Welcome to another episode of Enters the Lab podcast presented by Red Zone DC Media. It's your boy DT. We got the OG C. Henry, and we got a special location for Lady E as she is currently at the Atlanta Falcons open practice to the fans. So let's hear the crowd real quick. How they going? How practice looking over there?
It's looking good right now. They just finished doing their 707, so right now they're about to go to their divisional practice. But we lit. Cool just kicked the game winning field goal, baby. We lit.
What up, Zoe? What up, Zoe, man? Glad to be here. I see you, Lady E. What's good? What's good? Football is here, man. I'm so excited, man. And like, man, DT said, it's a lot to review, man. And I'm just happy, man, I can be here on this Friday evening to do it with you guys, man. What's good, baby? We back.
Yes, sir. Another Friday edition of Enters the Lab podcast. Also, click like and subscribe to the Red Zone DC Media channel. Also, subscribe to other podcasts as well for the Red Zone Media team as well. So let's go ahead and kick it off, man. So yesterday we had our first taste of NFL football as the Chicago Bears played the Houston Texans, and it was pretty inspired game. You saw some points then and there, but overall, it was a good game. Unfortunately, yesterday had to stop play due to the weather, but nevertheless, it was a good thing to see NFL football back, and you see all the commercials advertising some of the games for Week 1 and so forth. So, C. Henry, what do you thought about the first game yesterday?
Man, it's the Hall of Fame game, man, and it was just good to see football back on TV. To be honest with you, because of the truncation of the preseason, we don't really see a lot of players playing these games anymore. We didn't get a chance to really see our first glimpse of Caleb yesterday, but still, it was good to kind of see both teams kind of mix it up. It was good to kind of see, again, two teams going at it, and we did see a couple of guys, Khalil Herbert, Rashawn Johnson from the Chicago side, the quarterback situation, Brett Rippon and Tyson Bagent. They seem to be possibly having a solid little battle for the backup spot. Maybe the Bagent is the guy or not. But it was just good to kind of see both of those teams kind of go at it. And looking forward to next week, man. We got another week of preseason in the book. So, wasn't much to take from the game itself. But, hey, glad that these guys are back at it.
Yeah, most definitely.
I agree. I hear y'all. It don't matter with me. I hear y'all. But no, I agree. I did not like the new kickoff because it looks very weird in the NFL. I'm not a fan of it. But I do like the fact that we got to see, some football. Really, to be honest with you, we got to really see some football. We got to really see it. I did want to see Caleb Williams, but David Mills, he showed out yesterday. And yeah, it was a good game all the way up into the situation with the lightning and everything and stuff like that. So that's just how it is. But I'm excited. I do want to see what the new look Bears look like. Texans, their picks and their draft looks amazing. So yeah, I'm excited.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I loved the game yesterday for the little bit I watched. The kickoff thing was interesting. Just my first time actually seeing it. Never really had a chance to look at the other league how they did it, but it was different but the way it's just telling me, I'm kind of expecting a lot more kickoffs than in years past, from what it seems like. But then yesterday, Stevenson he falling over the ground and stuff like that, lost yardage. So it's going to be interesting how that goes along with every single thing, not just the game we watched yesterday. But I do have I won't say it's really a hot take, it's just really opinion. I don't like the Texas jerseys, man.
Mm.
It's something about it that it was throwing me off.
Look at
That
DT couldn't even wait to the season to start pissing off other fan bases. He's starting right now, man. We started before. I mean, this August 2nd. He already. I don't even like y'all jerseys. Dang.
I like the Texans, but the jerseys, I don't know. I'm a classic guy. I like the OG classics, man. It looked kind of like Falcony and the white Commanders away jersey to me. That's what it kind of gave me. I was like, I don't know, but nevertheless, it was a good game yesterday, and the kickoff is still going to be interesting. So, with that being said, also it was the Hall of Fame. We had a bunch of Hall of Famers yesterday. We had Andre Johnson, Devin Hester, and it kind of slipped my mind. I did not realize Patrick Willis is going to be in the Hall of Fame. And I do have a question for y'all, because this was a topic I had in a group chat, I believe it was yesterday. So when you look at the requirements for Hall of Famers, with accolades, statistics, the impact, how you impact the game, those things are very important. And Patrick Willis did impact the game. But it also amazed me when I realized how many years he actually played in the league. If I'm not mistaken, it said 2007 to 2013. So that's really 8 years of production.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all have a problem with that, or you think he's done enough in those 8 years to be worthy?
To be honest with you, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, if I can remember correctly, Patrick Willis suffered from a lot of injuries too during his time in San Francisco. So I want to say that that's kind of like the reason why those 8 years. But in those 8 years, he was very productive. I will give him that. He was very productive for that San Francisco 49ers team. I mean, as somebody that played them and watched them, Patrick Willis was a very key part in when they came and played us in 2012 before they went to the Super Bowl. So. But just correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm remembering correctly, he suffered from a lot of injuries during his time.
I think he did suffer from injuries too. I'll have to go back and look. What do you think, C. Henry?
I think that to Lady E's point, he definitely was extremely impactful for every season that he did play. I think I remember him having I don't know if it was a long-standing issue with concussions, but I think he did have a little bit of an injury issue that kind of helped, truncate, his career, if you will. But I mean, every season, though, he was extremely productive. He was extremely impactful. We were talking about one of the best to do it every year that he played. So we've seen, at times other folks with short careers still be able to, be impactful in that short period of time and be Hall of Fame worthy. You know what I mean? So I think he was definitely one of those type players.
Okay, I definitely see it. It just surprised me. Like when you see players like that, you really don't think about how many years they played unless like you've seen them from the time you grown up. But I looked at it and said 2007 to 13. I was like, wow, he only played like 8 years. Like that's crazy. And he was on one of those Super Bowl teams as well when they had the impact, when they were going to playoffs and stuff. And it just really surprised me when I saw, he only played for that amount of time. But injuries definitely do play a role with some of these guys that get elected as well. But also, I also want to ask you guys about this. So let's go to around the league real quick. So the San Francisco 49ers situation when it comes to Trent Williams and Brandon Ayuk is starting to hear a lot of rumors about who's getting paid, where Brandon Ayuk is going. There's talks about him going to Steelers. There's some weird rumors talking about him going to the Cleveland Browns, which I don't understand. So how y'all think this stuff is going to be resolved in San Francisco, especially when in a couple of years you got Brock Purdy and a couple other guys that need contracts?
Honestly, I'm not even gonna lie to you. San Francisco is in a pickle right now. I'm not even gonna lie about that. You gotta play Brock. You trying to keep everything together. But the real question is gonna be is with Kyle Shanahan, how much longer are they gonna give him? Because how many times have they went to the Super Bowl within time and he could not get over the hump? So, I mean, it's really going to be looked at that. I kind of look at it as more so like, what does Kyle Shanahan is going to look without those top key contributors? Because again, I feel like they want to play Brock Purdy, but at the same token, has Brock Purdy really shown us enough to demand a big contract? Let alone how much production can we get more out of Brandon Ayuk? So again, I'm just looking at it from all aspects. But my real question is, how much longer are they gonna give Shanahan though with San Francisco?
I would say this, but I'm hearing that they have something kind of worked out with IU that it's just a matter of time before we hear it. I don't know how accurate that is, but I think that they're in a situation where they're going to have to start paying players. You know what I mean? And it's actually a good position to be in. You're productive every year, and you also actually have a great roster. And now you have a quarterback who is on a rookie deal, but sooner or later you have to pay him. And people think that that's going to be the beginning of the end for them. I do think they've been able to kind of manufacture or work around the cap up to this point. I don't expect that to be any different. They may lose a player or two, but I think that right now they hold the leverage with Ayuk, in my opinion. I don't know what they're going to do with Trent. I think if I'm in their shoes, I'm trying to probably do whatever I need to do, to appease both of those players, make this run this year, and then kind of reevaluate, at the turn. To me, it looks like they are putting themselves in position to absorb some personnel losses in the future. They did go out and draft a couple of wide receivers this offseason. So, if they were to lose Ayuk or a Debo in the coming years, they seem to kind of have a soft landing there. Now Trent, that's a different story. So we'll have to see how that plays out. But I think, let's see how the Ayuk situation plays out. We've seen them plenty of times before with these players who are kind of a little disgruntled. The only one they play up front, it seems to be CMC. He the only one to know how to beg for his money. But everybody else, though, they beg, they cry, and then San Francisco somehow make something happen in that 12th hour. So let's see how it works out.
Yeah, I agree. Me personally, when it comes to this, I know Purdy is going to be the one person airways when we talk about down the line in terms of getting paid. But I also found out that Trent Williams still has 3 years on his contract, and he still wants to be paid the highest in the league. And can't blame him for that. But you still got 3 years on your contract, bro.
I got a question to say to that. Why is it that every time in the league where there's new defensive players, wide receivers, running backs, well, I don't even want to include the running backs, so take that out. But when it's new defensive players, wide receivers, quarterbacks, that people legitimately they get on these deals that have like 3 years left, and now they want them to redo their whole entire deal to get money. Like, what is the whole purpose of that? Because Julio got us in trouble with that. We had to give him an extra 15 mil just because he wanted another contract. So what does that do? Even though you want to be the highest paid, but like what is the purpose of that? Why can't you just let the last year or two play out and then we can have that conversation?
Well, I think, and I might need you guys to kind of look into this for me. Definitely fact check me. But I think in Trent's case, this is a situation where these were supposed to be some of those, I don't want to call them dumbing years, but those additional years that they kind of add on that have no money attached to them. Yeah, he has the 3 years onto the deal, but as of right now, I believe there's no guaranteed money owed to him at this point in time. I may be wrong on that. So I think that's his issue. If something were to happen to him right now, they can decide to cut him and not owe him any money, whereas he wants some guaranteed dollars on his contract. The same situation, I believe, was what happened with Matt Stafford. He still had years on his contract, but at this point, they were $0 guaranteed. So again, if something were to happen to him before season or in season, they can move on for him with no dollars, attached to him. So now we saw the restructure. We saw that Stafford, I believe, got $23 million guaranteed this year, and some dollars guaranteed for next year. So I believe it's just one of those situations where we get these big deals. And they put those what they call voidable years on them, but hey, they're not voiding Trent. So he's like, hey, come back and holler at me, and we need to do this. We need this renegotiation. And real quick before we move on,
you are absolutely correct.
Willis, real quick, 8 years in the league, 7 Pro Bowls, 5 All Pros, and he had a foot injury. It wasn't concussion, a foot injury that forced him to retire. So he was pretty damn impactful for that short period of time.
I knew it was an injury. I knew it was an injury that cut his career pretty short.
And it seems seemingly just the foot injury that ultimately cost him that last year. But he was available pretty much those first 7 years. Again, 7 Pro Bowls, 5 All Pros, all as a rookie. So
yeah. So C. Henry, you are correct. The 3 years of his contract that he has remaining, there are no guarantees within that contract. So that is the reason why he is holding out.
And we ain't even putting the knee brace on in this practice. We're not even getting involved with none of this. We ain't hitting a sled. We ain't doing none of that till y'all put some money on this contract, baby.
So, but here's my question: when the guaranteed money is given up front, is this not being discussed that hey, later on down the line, you're not going to have such and such, like, because I know sometimes the guaranteed money is spread out with sign-on bonuses, training camp bonuses, and different type of bonuses conflated over the contract. So why aren't they not negotiating for more of those bonuses down the line to have that guaranteed money spread out, rather than worrying about the guaranteed money up front? Well, that's my real main question.
Well, I think the voidable years is really a team is an asset to the team, because we have these years that we're spreading these dollars out over this contract. Yeah, we're paying you up front, but we're able to spread them over these 7 years. Where really it's a 5-year deal for you, but we have these 2 voidable years now. Ideally, I believe Trent was like, either I'm supposed to be done playing football or y'all were supposed to come back and holler at me when these years come up, so we can kind of work something out and possibly push the bucket down the road further. But whatever happens, we come to this situation where, okay, you're not ready to be done playing. We're not ready to be done with you. We got these voidable years. Now we got to kind of work something out. Do we give you a couple million somehow, some way? How do we work this out that's appeasable for both sides?
Well, and that's why I said, like, sign-on bonus, training camp bonuses, something that's not going to hurt, but they still be able to get their money. You see what I'm saying?
See, that ain't guaranteed money, because anytime, if it's based on something, something had to happen. I want this guarantee before I get up out of here.
Hey,
I might tear a rotator cuff in here trying to lift up this damn weight. I ain't trying to do all that. Y'all better give me some damn money. You know what I'm saying? Oh God, might get a high ankle sprain, and y'all figure like make me a camp casualty. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna be out 6 to 8 weeks. Now I'm gonna need some money before I get up out of here. You know what I'm talking about? Put something on the plate, baby.
Yeah, boy. Crazy.
That you down all them. They like, hey man, listen, somebody gonna have to do something. They gonna have to do something. What they tell him in New England? They say, listen, man, stop, don't show your face around here. What they tell him? Why he had to walk out of practice, man? What they tell him, man? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Coach walked up to him like, man, listen, man, I already told you, man. You know you ain't even supposed to be here, man.
Yeah, that
one. Man, you come in here smelling like blunts and jujubes, man. You can't be coming in here like that, man. We trying to get back on the good foot up in here, man.
That would not happen. I promise you that. He wants to show that Belichick ain't there. Trying to tell you. That would not happen at practice. He over here fucking Belichick said, nah, I ain't got time for you.
What you talking about?
So, real quick question across the panel. Do y'all believe Ayuk signs a contract or he gets traded?
I believe traded. I believe traded.
You know what? I'm thinking that San Fran's going to call his bluff, man. He's a young player. You know, he hasn't made a lot of money in this league. You know, maybe he's ready to hold out and take some of these losses. But if I'm San Francisco, I'm gonna test it and see what's up. Like you said, you know, we have a couple players that we've drafted to kind of soften the blow if we have to go a couple of weeks without him. But I'm not going to trade him now unless we just get to that impasse. You know, I think what's going to possibly help their case of getting the deal done is that, you know, DJ Moore went out and got paid 4 years, $110 million, $82 million guaranteed. So again, we've got that market kind of established, 26, 27, $28 million. I don't know kind of how you guys feel about Ayuk and kind of where you see him in that hierarchy, but I don't know if I think he's on par. I think he's on par with DJ Moore. I think DJ Moore, you know, has been a little bit more consistent, has shown it a little bit more in the league, and he's done it with a little more inconsistent quarterback play.
Yeah.
But I think $26 million is what they offered him. DJ Moore will get $27.5, $28 million. So I think that's more strengthening the case of kind of where he needs to be. And again, are you going to risk sitting out, or are you going to say, you know what, let me buy in and get this $82 million guaranteed. Let me get this $110 million. What I'm mad for? What I'm fighting for? You know what I'm saying? $2-3 more million. Come on now. Messing up your for sure, trying to get some more. Sometimes
don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Brandon Ayuk is a very good player. Don't get me wrong. I think San Francisco will be crazy to let him walk. But if they're really looking into giving Brock Purdy the big dollars, and like they said, if Trent Williams, if he's a major key aspect, which he really is, but if he's that major key aspect, they got to pay him too. So I think it's going to be like they might take that risk to let him walk, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And we
Trent
always turned up.
Trent gonna get his money.
Oh yeah, and they need to get Trent his money. And, you know, maybe they need to figure out Ayuk before they kind of figure out, you know, what they're going to do with him. But to me, if San Fran was going to trade him or get rid of him, it would have been a perfect time to do it this offseason. By letting the draft go by, by letting free agency go by. Now you kind of, you know, whatever you do now is not going to help you this season. So to me, I'm all in on this season. I'm going to kind of wait it out and see where he is. He may, again, you know, you get a little hungry. And them checks stop coming in week 2 and week 3. You know what I'm saying? You saw that steak and shrimp. And them checks ain't been coming for a whole month. You know what I'm saying? Your stomach start growling a little bit. You might want to, you know, come on in out the cold. You know what I mean? So we'll see how it works out.
Yeah. I think me personally, I agree with you, C. Henry. If they were to trade him, it should have been during the draft when they had the opportunity. But obviously, I believe on the 49ers side, what they were asking from teams were not going to budge and give them what they wanted. And I do believe, yes, Ayuk, he is a good player, but is he on the same level as a Tyreek, Devontae Adams, or Justin Jefferson? No, to me, that wouldn't be a long conversation. I think he's somewhere around maybe that, probably around the tier 2 receivers, like you're saying, like a DJ Moore and Terry McLaurin, I would say. But I think that remains to be seen. He is a good player, but to pay him $30+ million, I just don't see it.
Well, can we kind of blame that on the way San Francisco kind of has been using him? I mean, they got CMC, so you're going to give CMC his touches and his runs. But can we kind of blame that on how San Francisco was utilizing him into the offense?
Yeah, I could also come with the argument that he didn't really start producing until Brock Purdy get in. He had 2,000-yard season after Brock Purdy.
I think both points can be true. I think, you know, his ceiling can be somewhat capped by the number of weapons around him. You know, that can possibly be his argument, his agent's argument. Some others, you know, the team's argument could be, you know, well, you didn't really blossom until we got, you know, Brock Purdy and put you in an offense that has all these weapons. Could you do it on your own? But to me, whatever the case may be, San Francisco can still franchise him next year if that's the case, and if they want to, you know, negotiate further and then move him. To me, what is going to make his value either maintain or go up? And to me, that's playing football. I don't think he has established himself as that much of a talent to where he can sit out right now and still maintain his current value and or see it, you know what I'm saying, rise by not playing. So eventually he's going to have to come and play. And eventually, I think San Francisco is going to have to make a decision whether it franchises him, lets him walk, decides to trade him. But I think really they hold a lot of the leverage in this situation.
Yeah, another thing too is like if we think about his time when he's still with the 49ers, but when he was currently with the 49ers, that offense was the main focus point. You would actually say was Debo and a little bit of George Kittle. You know, Debo had that crazy year where he had 300 yards rushing and 1,300 yards receiving, but now you start to see Debo's role diminish a little bit. And last year there was a lot of talks from 49ers fans saying, hey, we kind of want Purdy to get the ball to George Kittle a little bit, but Ayuk was the number one target, though when you look at how that team is structured, you got CMC, George Kittle, Debo Samuels. You got a lot of pieces now, and now you drafted two more wide receivers to go in that room. And also, not saying he's a spectacular player of any sort, but Juan Jennings also is a guy that can give you some production off the bench. So I'm interested to see another year in this offense. Can he put up those same numbers? If he put up the same numbers, I think, okay, we can have a conversation about where you want to have your money at.
I think that's a great point because to your point, you know, we saw Debo with that one outstanding season. You know what I'm saying? That one that kind of elevated him to possibly us thinking that he's a top 10, top 12 player at the position. Yeah. Not saying that he isn't, but productivity-wise, we've only seen that one season. Last year was pretty good. But can, you know, Brian Ayuk do this again and again and again, year in, year out? So I think that's a great point.
I can't get off of you fast enough. But no, I agree. Like I said, it's just the real question is how can we incorporate him? That was a touchdown. But how can we incorporate him and a little bit more so we can see that? Because again, I feel like now that they have a quarterback in Brock Purdy. Yeah, okay, y'all heard that. Drake London just had a touchdown. But I just want to see how they can incorporate Brandon Ayuk. Again, I feel like Debo is not the same Debo as we saw. We kind of saw for a couple of years. His productivity and position has diminished, and he's been the main star. But the argument is how what I want to see from Kyle is how can you incorporate all these superstars in a little bit? Because you still got Kittle, you got CMC, now you got Brandon. I don't know what you're gonna do with Debo, but at the same token, then you just drafted old dude from Florida. So what are we doing?
Yeah, that's going to be the interesting thing that we're going to see for the 49ers next coming weeks, how that situation is going to fold. But let's go ahead and get some updates from our training camps. How's training camp looking over there, Lady E? You over there currently? You tell us what you see so far, what you like and what you don't like, or some things that you can see be worked on.
There's still question marks around Penix right now. He was kind of working with the first team defense and then working with the they've been switching out. He's been working with the second team offense against the first team defense, and he's been with the first team offense working against the first team defense. There's a couple of things that I'm still liking, and I still need to kind of figure out with him. And I think it's just the players getting used to a left-hand quarterback. So it's just that he's been doing a lot of handoffs. Rather than throwing, and when the throwing technically happened, when it came in about the situation, I don't feel like his throwing is there, but he has thrown some these past 2 or 3 plays. He has thrown some very good out routes. I feel like he's a very good thrower out route. I still need him to work on that middle with a couple of things. Kirk Cousins looking great. My defense is looking great. Bijan is just freaking Bijan at this point. Tyler Algier is Tyler Algier. Drake is Drake.
Hold on. Tyler Algier is Tyler Algier. What the hell does that mean? What does that mean?
Look. I'm just gonna put it to you like this. He ain't dropped out since last season. Bruh, man is cutting through. He's bullying people on the offense. On the defense. So it's all there. It's completely all there. Like I'm liking what I'm seeing right now. I see a lot more energy from this team. I see a lot more into it. Even on the 2-minute warning drill, I wish Kirk was moving a little bit faster. Penix kind of got behind the sticks real quick. So again, Pooh is cool as well. He's kicking these 50-yarders. So yeah, right now I'm loving what I'm seeing. I just can't wait to the first game next week to actually put all this together. But right now, I really am. I'm loving what I'm seeing.
All right,
it sounds like man, Atlanta man is in store for some great things, man. I'm happy for you, man. What's going on in Washington, DT?
Okay, so from Washington, offense with the pads have been looking good. They're starting to catch up to the defense a little bit. Brandon Coleman, the 3rd round pick, he's starting to look like a lock for that left tackle spot. Every day we have heard from him so far, he's been getting the reps with first teams every single day, and he's even competed his butt off, and he's gave the defensive lineman a run for money. Now, I don't know if that's a good thing for the edge rushers, but I think that's good for a guy that was drafted in the 3rd round, who a lot of people say he should be a guard, but they give him an opportunity at the tackle spot. And if he becomes what, not having crazy expectations like to be an elite left tackle like we had with Trent Williams, but if he can solve the left tackle position that we've been trying to solve the past couple of years with trying to see can we have the quarterback of the future, that's going to be marvelous with this draft class, especially Mike Sanders still also balling out at practice and a couple other guys. So I'm loving what the draft class has done so far. Now Ben Sinnott, okay, he's still trying to adjust in terms of like practicing as a tight end in the NFL. We all know how that development goes. There's been some reports about him dropping the ball at practice. So hopefully that doesn't carry out in the game, but I still feel like I have good veteran leadership with Zach Ertz and John Bates to help out if he's not there where it needs to be. But I like what I've seen from the offensive line. I still have questions about left guard and right tackle. Apparently Wiley has been dinged up with tightness, and they've been trying out other guys at that spot. So
is Lucas getting a look at that right tackle spot, man?
To me, that's the option I said to the group. I said, hey, look, if Wiley is not locked into that right tackle spot, I'm putting my best 5 out there. I like Cornelius Lucas over Andrew Wiley.
I don't know. That's shaky right there. I think my man Coleman is probably going to be the most talked about, the most famous person in Washington these next couple of weeks, man. Everybody's kind of watching his development at that left tackle spot or any tackle, whatever tackle he lines up at. I think that it's very, very important. But to your
he's
point,
going to get tested next week. We having joint practices against the New York Jets, so that's going to be
okay. That's what's up. Man.
We got Miami. We got joint practice with Miami.
Oh, we got
joint practice. Nobody asked you about y'all joint practice. Ain't nobody asked you that. No,
hey, don't be hating. Look, don't be hating.
Okay, don't y'all got joint practice with the Giants? Well, I'm tripping.
No, we do. We got it with the Giants. We got it with the Giants next week, man. Yeah, our camp is coming along. I actually got a chance to go out there Tuesday, check them out. Golf is locked in, man. He threw his first pick. In, I think in like the first 7 or 8 practices. But he's been locked in, man. A lot of competition for that wide receiver 3 spot. We're seeing some names that we didn't quite expect. Maurice Alexander, Doris Fountain, making a big impact. Some of those guys maybe in front of guys like DPJ and Khalif Raymond out there. Defensive line has looked, sent awesome. Had a couple of injuries, but we lost John Kaminsky. I think he may be losing for the year. He had a torn MCL. But with that being said, man, Levi Onwuzurike, a guy who I had, set for the scrap heap, a guy that I had on the outside looking in at the 53, has had definitely a strong first 2 weeks. Folks saying that he's strongly entrenched in that D tackle rotation. So again, a lot of things, looking good for the Lions, getting a lot of great play from our young secondary. Ennis Ricker-Stroud, 3 straight practices with interceptions. So giving us that guy that we need in that back end to, give us some turnovers and things of that nature. So we're looking good in Detroit, man. It looks like we're definitely going to, be amped up and hopefully ready for another run in the playoffs. So again, to your point, we have the Giants next week. Kind of want to see what Malik Neighbors looks like up close and personal. and kind of see if we can get a couple of turnovers out of Daniel Jones. So
Yeah, because
I like the way we're looking right now.
Now let me tell you something. Malik is a dog, but I also question because the Giants lost a lot of people in their secondary from free agency this year. I understand Malik is good, but how much of that is an indictment on the corners after Deontay Banks? So I'm interested to see how do your wide receivers do against their defensive backs, and how do Malik Neighbors do against Terry Arnold and a couple of guys you guys have in your secondary.
For sure, man. Definitely want to see it. Definitely want to tune in for that. Any matchups that you're looking forward to in either one of you your joint practice ventures?
Yeah, so for the Commanders, obviously, I want to see the first team offense against the Jets defense. I want to see how far they come along, especially with the offensive line of scrimmage is going to be something I need to watch. Obviously, with Coleman going up against guys like Jermaine Johnson and whoever they line up against, their defensive line is deep. Also, I want to see our secondary against Aaron Rodgers. Emmanuel Forbes.
They say he been eating, man. They say he been eating. They say he gained 12 pounds.
Yeah, he's bulked up. He's definitely bulked up. But another guy too that's been popping up in terms for Washington has been Tariq Castro Fields. He was a guy that was picked up, I believe, last year, and he was Adam Peters' pick with the 49ers. So this is a guy who's kind of jumped up in the depth room. Also, I want to look at the safety room because it's looking like Derek Forrest might be on the way out with how he's set in the depth chart, but we'll see. Like the secondary, I'm very curious to see how they go up against New York Jets and Aaron Rodgers.
Not Forrest on his way out, man. If he on his way out, man, where's my man Percy Miracles, man? Where's no Mercy Percy at, man?
Mercy getting snaps, man.
Okay.
Percy Mercy getting more snaps than Forrest right now.
Oh man. That's crazy.
I'm different. I actually want to see my coaching staff how they gonna put all of this together. That's kind of what I want to see. I want to see what the coaching staff got, and then I'm working at practice. That's what I can do. Look, my family getting on me right now, but no, real talk though. I do want to see. I really want to see what Penix got because, like I said, they've been mixing it and putting Penix in with the first team. So I do want to see what Penix got against Miami's defense. I do want to see my wide receivers up against Miami's defense and their D-back. I do want to see what Kirk got. I want to see him kind of in a little bit more action because he's not going to play in the preseason. So I do expect him a little bit more stats, and I don't expect him to take it easier on him. So I wanted to be able to sit over there. So that's kind of what I'm looking at, but I'm really interested to see what Raheem is going to do, especially with management. I do want to see what Zach is going to do and what Larry's going to do because these are both new in their positions. I just want to see how they scheme, how they work, especially against a team like Miami, whose defense I'm not going to say is great, but it's a good look of a good defense that we're going to see before heading into the season. So I do want to see. I'm ready to see everything. I need to see my offensive line against their guys, especially Caleb McGarry, because if anything happens to Kirk, he's gonna have to come in. You're his blind side, my dude. You're his blind side. So I got to see how all this stuff kind of adds up and able to work. So, but yes, Drake just made a nice little 40-yard catch and got bullied. So I'm excited. I need to see this. I'm excited.
The Drake London hype is really man is really hitting a fever pitch. I heard somebody in my fantasy football league was thinking about drafting him over Mike Evans. I don't know about that yet. I don't know if I'm quite there yet, but you know what I'm saying? We're gonna have to see, man.
He got a quarterback now that can use him, know how to throw. Like I said, Pitts is amazing right now during camp. This is a Pitts that we've been wanting. So I'm excited for that too. But now we finally got a quarterback who knows how to utilize weapons in the sense of how Matt Ryan was with us. So I'm really excited for Drake's season. Definitely excited for Pitt's season.
Oh, quick question: how is Mooney wide receiver 3?
You might as well say, in a sense, he's kind of 2. In a sense, that's how it looks right now. I'm just saying.
Is
But
it
not his wide receiver.
is it because of Pitts?
I would say so, yeah, because I don't think they want to really utilize him as a pure wide receiver. But yeah, if it turns out to be that way, it will probably be that way during the season. He'll be number 3.
Oh, okay. Good. Okay, so one thing I do want to talk about, and Henry, thank you for mentioning me. This is something that popped up yesterday. We need to talk about some of these key injuries that's happened so far in camp. So obviously, we go to Los Angeles as Justin Herbert has a plantar fasciitis in his right foot, if I'm not mistaken. So that has popped up. DeAndre Hopkins, I just now seen he had a knee injury at practice, and he's expected to be out 4 to 6 weeks. And also, yesterday, live on our podcast, Command Time, Geno Smith will be out indefinitely with a knee and a hip injury. So
Damn,
that's
I
gonna
didn't
be
hear that one.
yeah, that
That's
happened.
breaking news to me. I'm sorry.
I didn't hear that one either. So that's breaking news. I didn't hear that one.
So that's it's Sam Howell time.
It's starting to look like it, but
damn,
Sam ain't had a good camp.
I'm gonna have to downplay. I'm gonna have to downplay DK Metcalf at my fantasy rankings. That's gonna affect a couple things there. But I'm gonna tell you, when I look at Herbert, though, that's a big loss for them. They're saying that he may not be available until week 1. So with that being said, he possibly could be out the whole preseason. That's a big setback. That's a big setback for LA. I mean, a whole new regime, whole new offense, getting chemistry with a new group of wide receivers. Wasn't going the best with Quentin Nelson, as we saw. So I'm gonna tell you what, that can really hold them back. I wasn't expecting a whole lot from them. They were kind of one of my teams to kind of watch. Nice roster, but don't know how they're going to, again, don't know what style of play they're going to be offensively. This is a big blow for them. As far as D-Hop, man, you talk about Will Levis in Tennessee. They made some good moves this offseason. They were a team that was looking like a surprising team in the AFC South. I think that's a big blow for them. They can withstand it, though. When you look at what they did this offseason, they went out and got Calvin Ridley. They went out and got Tyler Boyd late in free agency. So possibly they can, withstand that. But I definitely think that kind of hurts the development of Will Levis a little bit over there in Tennessee. Big losses. And then Sam Howell again. Sam Howell time. Don't let Sam Howell be sweet over there. Don't let Sam Howell be sweet over there for Seattle. And y'all let that boy go for nothing. And my cousin just landed, my commander cousin just landed the city. Hey, don't let Sam Howell be sweet in Seattle, bro.
Hey, I'm just gonna
he got rid of him because he ain't that good. I'm just gonna say, don't let that boy be sweet in Seattle.
All I'm gonna say is that's a major big blow to Seattle losing Geno. Like that's a major blow. Like I kind of had him in the hunt. I don't know now.
So
do we know the nature and the severity of said injury?
I can look it up, but here's how I feel about it, because we know about Geno's contract. He signed a friendly deal that, technically it has indirectly some writings like, hey, we're going to give you this contract, we're going to pay you this money, but eventually we're still going to try to find somebody for the long-term future because you are right now our short-term gap for the now. And I think when you're looking at this situation, it's a new entire staff that didn't sign Geno Smith, but they traded. John Snyder did trade it for Sam Howell, so we'll see how Sam looks in the preseason, and maybe if he has to play a couple of weeks, like, okay, if he has a hot hand, do I go back to the vet? That's going to be a question. I mean, Sam, when he gets in the groove, he can play. But when he don't get in the groove, we see what happens.
In the groove. He's got weapons around him on the outside. 3 very, very nice receivers. Couple good running backs. They put a lot of resources. And they're going to put a lot of resources into that offensive line. And he's got a defense that there are some pieces there. They're still young, still developing, but there are some pieces there. So he's in a situation where I don't think he has to play shootout football day in and day out. And again, like you said, he's in a situation where the OC possibly, and we got to look at him because we don't know quite what is going to happen there, exactly. So I believe it's Ryan Grubb, formerly of the Washington Huskies, of college fame. So, they ran the football a little bit with Dylan Johnson there, but they also, specialize with the 3 wide receiver attack and threw the ball all around. So very eager to see kind of how that shakes out. Sam was having an up and down camp from what I hear. So definitely want to keep my eyes on. Definitely some fantasy football implications there, man. Did Kenny Walker, the K9 stock go up?
The K9 and what's one done? Charbonnet. Did that go up?
Oh, you talking about my man? You talking about my friend Chardonnay? I like that name, Chardonnay. Yes, I renamed him.
I don't want to call no grown man Chardonnay. I don't know. Something about that don't even rub me right. I know that's my man's name, but just a grown man Chardonnay on them Chardonnay with your type of twang you put on there. I ain't really like that.
Hey, don't be talking about my twang, man. How you got one more time?
Oh my God! Look, it's gonna be interesting to see how these injuries and stuff play out, man. Especially for the Chargers, because that's an entirely new look team with Jim Harbaugh's first couple of weeks. So gonna be interesting to see how that plays out, and gonna see how the Geno Smith and DeAndre Hopkins played out. But man, shoot, I got nothing else, y'all.
The only thing I'm gonna say is this: football starts next week. We finally get to see our team. We finally get to see what we've been waiting on, what we've been talking about. So I know next week, the week after that, the show's gonna be amazing, y'all. Just let y'all know. I would try to flip over and let y'all see what's going on, but I don't know how to do it on the phone. So I'm kind of old.
No, you know what? We can kind of close there because I know we want to talk a little bit of college, but we don't have to go into it because I really want to, camps are kicking off for college as well too, and I really want to, see kind of what the rumors are. I'm sorry. Go ahead, E.
No, I'm about to say this. Georgia reported yesterday, and I just want to say my offensive line is huge. It's huge.
Well, I seen on EA College Football.
But hey, it's huge.
I got so many jokes, but I'm gonna spare y'all tonight. I'm gonna spare y'all. I'm gonna spare y'all tonight.
See, but
let's what? Again, like Lady E said, the camps are kicking off, and I want to give it a week or so to kind of see some, what the rumors are. I know at Michigan we're looking at possibly a quarterback race going on here between Alex Orji and Jack Tuttle. So next week, let's dive into a little bit more of the college football landscape. What we've been hearing, and then what we expect. But again, next week we'll be talking about actual preseason football. We'll be talking about all 3 teams in their joint practice situation. So I'm looking forward to next week as well, man.
Yeah, without a doubt. So cannot wait to tap in with y'all next week as the NFL preseason will be officially kicking off and joint practices. So we're going to have much more information for y'all, and we're going to tap in to the college football landscape as college football is starting to creep back on us because this is the month of August. It's your boy DT. We got Lady Eve reporting from Falcons facility. We got the OG C. Henry, and this is Enters the Lab podcast presented by Red Zone DC Media. We will see you guys next week as we get ready for more football. Y'all have a safe night.
My fault. What happened? I'm eating Popeye.
This man says eating some Popeyes. Commercial.
Ready for a break.
Save this clip.
Wipe your hands. Wipe your hands.
Commercial.
We over here about to die thirst over here.
Thing on the menu today, bro, and that's work. That's work for 60 minutes, bro. That's the only job we got to do today, bro. What you playing for? What you playing for? What you playing for? What y'all?